It's been a minute, my globe runner, mate, friend, comrade. Love it, man. It's good to be back. Not really that I wasn't doing the right thing out there in Dallas. I was visiting with the right people. My granddaughter and my daughter, my son in law. In my last episode, I was candid about my whereabouts. I'm back in the inner sanctum of Globe Runner. And some subjects are old, so bear with me. I'm trying to catch up. It's very hard to visit at the same time. Split yourself between what you love to do and in a different space and familiar territory. Even my last episode, I was looking at it that I posted. I look lost, which is okay. But yeah, Globe Runner is back. The host back like he never left. But that's how I do it. I'm glad to hear you guys that you are hopefully you're having a good life in your neck of the wood. Good to see you. Thank you for your company. Thank you for taking another risk to be with me in this episode of Globe Runner. And let's go down under. There's a there's a trending story which is old according to the social media these days. You know, if you are 1 week, 4 days, whatever it is, it's been happening. Richardson Shakira was in Down Under in Australia and did a Starwell gift handicap race. I don't know. If you watch it, enjoy it. And if you didn't, is that she had an event that was is famous for inviting big names. It's a rural town in Starwell, Australia, where they have an event where they are just showcasing. It's an exhibition event. The price is about $30,000. Not a bad payday for Richardson, who has never seen a W or a win in the last few years. And this was a good smile for her. And kudos to her. Any W, any win is a good win if you've been struggling in track and field. It was a grass track. And if you haven't watched it, check it out. It's where she's coming from behind to overwhelm the less able athletes. In other words, talking of potential. So that was the race. She pocketed some good money. Like I say, almost $30,000. I'm looking at a picture here. She was crowned. Everything you do in an empire, you get a crown. And she was a queen in that town. Starwell, Australia Down Under, a win for Richardson. Some people are like, oh, really? That's all you can win? Does it really matter? Let's just celebrate for her. Let's just have a moment here and celebrate. Naysayers, people just want to see people in a hole and they wish that they sink deeper and deeper. Really? The last time we saw Shakira, she was begging for her life. She was asking the state trooper to spare the rod and spare me the jail visit. And that's the last time we saw her speeding and the speeding ticket. Apparently, that one is not being dropped. So maybe this $30,000 will help our lawyers so she can stay out of jail. Anyway, happy for Shakira Richardson. A win is a win. It's an unconventional race, 120 meters, unusual. Like I say, it's an exhibition event, staged here in Australia. And that was that for her when you think about what else she can do to redeem her name, her image. And yeah, when you win, you can win anything. Win covers all kind of sins, just like love does cover all kind of sins. W, people forget, hopefully the past, quickly and move on. Jane Endegren, Stanford Invitational, broke the collegiate record in the 10K, 30:50, 46 or 43. So she's a new lady on the block, BYU freshman, winning. Winning streak is on the horizon here for her. Good win. She beat a good field, including New Mexico, what's her name? Koskei? What's her name? Why am I forgetting her name? Well, she beats a good field. Pamela Koskei from New Mexico. What's happening to Pamela Koskei? I thought she would have step into where Doris Lamgole should be. But no, Jen Enegren is a new NCAA record holder in the 10K coming out of Stanford. I don't care about what people say about what is next for her. She just broke the collegiate record. That's it. She won the 3K indoor, 5K indoor. Good. She's a freshman. She's in college. She's young. But when you check some of these predictions and trajectory of her career, it's just I don't know. I think like I say, I understand the freedom of expression, understand the conversation that we pundits, we enthusiasts, we call ourselves journalists. We want to analyze it and project it. I had even a conversation of her having broke the collegiate record, talking of Faith Kipyegon, Beatrice Chebet, Tirunesh Dibaba, Shelby Shenigan. These big names. These are household names in 10K and distance running around the world. She's seventh of all time in America or college. I don't know. Seventh of all time in America. I'm talking United States. I think we like to know what the future looks for her, but we cannot have a conversation of Jenny Endegren in the same conversation we can have with Tirunesh Dibabas of this world, Beatrice Chebet of this world. I think we get excited, we get carried away. It's understandable. Now that she's a collegiate record holder, really, we're gonna look that far, even put her in the same conversation as the big names that has come before us. And making those people even making breaking those splits of 10K for her into a 209 in marathon. Like if you broke that 30, 50, 49, it equates to 209 marathon. We are overindulging. I think we get excited, like I say. I think people are hoping for whatever they call white hope. Let me just drop that here. I mean, people, I'm tired of this narrative. Every time somebody does something who is Caucasian, I get this narrative. There's this excitement. She's the next big thing. She's going to dethrone Beatrice Chebet. She's going to run after the records in the world. You must be kidding me, people. Slow down. Just slow down. Enjoy the moment. There's an arrogance of some narratives that just rub me the wrong way. I've always pitted her against Doris Lemgole, the Alabamian. It's head to head. I think Doris is ahead. Like I say, this is a young, upcoming athlete. The future looks right now. Who knows the future by then? I don't have a crystal ball. So I'm tired of the conversations that try to put her in a different layer or a different stratosphere. She doesn't belong there. She's a freshman. She's barely a collegiate juggernaut. She just won a few races here and there. All right, what else? We don't know. Anyway, moving on. Jen Endegren, NCAA new world record in 10K. Good for her. I think the conversation for me today was Josh Kerr. I watched a podcast of Josh Kerr, the Scottish Brit, talking about the 2:22 seconds race that he wants to bring home in the mile. He believes this is what Josh Kerr believes is the big thing in the middle distance right now. He is calling himself undisputed miler around the globe. I think the guy tried to ask him, is there any competition? He said the competition is himself. I've never heard that people talk like that. There are very few people who talk like that as distance runners. I've known this guy to be an arrogant Brit, an empirical nightmare to even have a conversation with. But he has a level of confidence that if you listen closely, it has very empirical undertones. And I was listening to him and watching his demeanor. It bears saying that maybe he's in a different level. That I get. Maybe he's in a stratosphere. Maybe in the third heaven of his career at the moment. But the language, to us who are spectators and big fans of success, needs to be toned down, I think. Maybe, I've never seen this kind of conversations. Maybe I'm very conservative. Maybe I'm laid back. Maybe I'm anti-imperial thought process and language. Because there's something here that he said that was very astonishing to me. Somebody asked him about, do you care about Jacob Engliston, Cole Hawker? Do they bother you when you are training? Are they your competition? And I think being inclusive when you think of competition isn't a bad thing. You can talk of your rivals in a language that is inclusive because the rivals can push you to the next level if they are in good shape too. But for him, he's an empire by himself. The empire is striking back. And for him, his competition is himself. He's talking of Sebastian Coe, Ram. He's talking of Steve Cram. I've talked about it. Steve Ovett back in the days, the Juggernauts, the big names in middle distance back in the days. He's even put himself in the same category and language as I say, Roger Bannister, the late Roger Bannister, who broke the 4 minute mile. And the way he's speaking is very interesting. It's robust, it's radical, it's quite bullying to competition. If you think about it, he's even talking of how he beat Cole Hawker in the 3K indoor in Toram in Poland. He used he used language that are quite explicit, dismissing the competition and saying, you know what, all I see is the lane and the time and the clock. And Josh Kerr. Um, is it okay to talk like that in a world whereby you never know? The last, remember, this guy is coming from an injury in Tokyo where he limped to the finish line. And it was a good, it was a race that he wishes to forget, but we don't. So let's be humble a little bit coming out of injuries. Is he that kind of a humble guy? Does he have that humility in himself? Not really. I've never said this guy is not. He has that language. He doesn't have the capacity to tone down the rhetorics of his capacity, his potential, and his abilities. Talking of Al Garouge, he thinks Al Garouge mile race of 3:43:13 has been shunned, and people have been shying away. They are scared of going after it. And so when he thought about it, him and his coach, when they were in New Mexico training, his coach apparently thought that he could have done it in a controlled environment in New Mexico, Albuquerque, wherever he was. And his coach kind of told him, well, listen, let's do this. Let's just do it here whereby things are warm. Uh, let's do a time trial in a controlled environment and go for the mile race. According to his coach, George Carr just pushed him to the side and said, no, I want to go do it in London, where the elements are against me. And so that when it's all said and done, I conquer the elements and I conquer the clock. Is that arrogant or being honest? And some of us feel intimidated by that kind of language. I don't know. But for me, he even dismissed the Faith Kipyegon project or 4 mile project, 4 minute mile project that Nike put out. He says, I don't care for those exhibitions. No, I want to run against anything, including myself. So he's running against himself if he makes. He say he's the best when it comes to running right now. That he doesn't see any competition. And he has a language that is, to me, it borders on arrogance sometimes. Imperialist. It has imperialistic undertones. People just believe they'll go to the moon. They don't need any help. When he was asked about the race that he's thinking in July 18th, I think, or June 18th, whatever that time is this year in Diamond League, when he was asked about the race, what about if Cole Hawker shows up? Jacob Engliston wants to show up. He says, I don't care. I got to be paid the money. They can get the change. They can get what's left on the table after I get paid. He talks of the Miss Director. There's directors, there are people who organize this event in London. For him, He doesn't care either. He says, I don't care about the director. It is his race. He'll pick the paces, he'll pick the time, and he'll pick the pace. He's in charge. He's an empire by itself. The new king on the block. Forget about the queen. Even the queen himself, Kelly Richardson, talked of owning the 800 meters indoor before the race. It's a new language, by the way. Is either confidence gone rogue or the empire wants to strike back with the same language of we're gonna rule the world. We don't care who are the who are the occupiers of that space. It's good language in certain ways, I could say, but for some of us, we start to wonder: is this really how you talk, or you let the running talk to you? I mean, remember, he's coming out of a good win in the 3K against Cole Hawker. He's riding on a good wave of win. But let's look at his resume a little bit. Has he done everything to deserve this kind of language? Is he Al Garouge? Is he the GOAT? Is Josh Kerr the GOAT? Let me know, guys. Let me know. Is he the man in the mile? He's a 345 miler. He's hoping to break 343. He's a world champion 2019, silver medalist, Olympics Paris, just won the indoor. Those are his, you know, those are the crowns he have on his head. Does that elevate him to be a king in middle distance or mile or 1500? Is that it takes? World champion, silver medalist, world champion indoor. Does indoor really puts you above everybody else? Is he better than Cole Hawker right now? If they go shoulder to shoulder again on maybe an open, in outdoor race, is he? Is George Kerr the king of middle distance? Is he the go-to guy now when it comes, or is talking himself into that conversation? That's the question I have, because he's talking a lot. What he's saying here, bold as I say, imperialistic language that I've seen in the past. He's talking big, bigger than I've ever seen. This guy says it doesn't matter about the weather. It's going to be raining in London anytime, anywhere, you know that. But he's saying it doesn't matter. I'm the king of the mile. Is he? He's a 345. 345 is indoor record for Jacob Engbleston. Don't forget that. Okay? Let's not be too fast in crowning people. There are people there's what we call coup d'etat in the mile. It could be a bloodless coup that we are seeing from Josh Kerr using the language. But is he the best we've seen in the mile, Josh Kerr? I'm asking. And he's talking of chasing history. How do you chase history? By talking yourself into history or performing and delivering? Maybe that's where he needs to really humble himself, realizing that the mile race has been unforgiving to many victims. He should read his history. For him to go back to Roger Bannister should remind him that it wasn't that easy. 343.13 with Al Garouj the Moroccan wasn't easy. George Kerr is talking from another planet, an arrogant planet for me, an empirical planet for me, an empire gone rogue for me, a king that needs to be controlled for me. The language for me here and his project and his swagger and his just over the top, claiming that he can use explicit language to tell us is that good. I don't know, my friend. You just came from an injury. You are lucky you got a medal. You got a gold in 3K. Things went out for you. You still have a long way to go. But he jumps from that to telling the world he's the best 1500 meters runner in the world at the moment. Is he? I'm not the one who's gonna tell him that. July 18th, we're gonna be in London. Is the clock gonna be ticking against him? I think for me, he has talked himself into either if he fails, then we can say something. But for me, the mile is a very elusive event to many people who have tried. And at 3:43 in London is worth watching. He wants 60%. No, he's thinking of 60,000 fans cheering him and crowning him as the next big time world record holder in the mile in London, July 18th. We are watching, but the language is a debasement to me. There's an arrogance to the language. Even dismissing his coach who thinks he knows what it takes. Let's find out. Al Garouj is still the world record holder as we speak, 3:43.13. It's a tough record, my friend. Josh Kerr, the arrogant Scottish Brit empire, as is trying to strike back with the language. Is he propagandish? Does it sound propagandish to you? I don't know. I listened to the whole thing. I think to me, I don't think you can talk like that until at least you run 3:44. 3:45 is what you have. If you are 3:44, you can talk 3:43 or better. I don't know, my friend. Um, George Carr, my friend. His race, his rules, his pace, his choice. Okay, let's find out that on July 18th. Talk to you there, my friend. Leave in my comments. Is this the best miler you've seen of late in the last 10 years or maybe 5? Josh Kerr, the Scot, is the best miler? Not in my books. If it wasn't for injury, Jacob Engbruston with the conversation. He has shown us in 3K, the mile, and even in 15, the times he has ran in 15 are incredibly fast. Josh Kerr is only talking right now because Jacob Engbruston has had setbacks after setbacks with injuries and family issues. The space has been left for this lone maverick. And I tell you what, it doesn't get any arrogant than that. Josh Kerr. Talk to you later, my friend.